Dear all, through this lecture you are going to study about method overriding in Java. Method overriding is a feature in Java which enables a subclass to reuse a property or a method that is defined inside the parent class. If a subclass or a child class has the same method as declared inside the parent class, it is known as method overriding. Let us take this example. Here you can see two classes, animal class which is acting as a parent class and dog class which is acting as a subclass. You can also see one method move that is defined inside animal. The same function or method is defined inside dog class also. As this dog is extending from animal class, this dog will have a copy of this move also. Okay, so the property of reusing this method that is defined inside the parent class by the child class is known as method overriding. Or if a subclass provides a specific implementation or a different meaning to a method that has been declared by one of its parent class, it is known as method overriding. So what is the use of this method overriding is that, as I told you, it is giving a specific implementation or a different meaning to a method that is already defined inside the parent class. Second one is that it is an example of runtime polymorphism. So you have already studied about compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism in C++. Here also the same concept can be applicable, and method overriding is an example of runtime polymorphism. Then you have to follow certain rules while implementing method overriding. First one is that both the methods, that means the methods defined inside parent class as well as a subclass, should have the same name. Okay. Second one is both should contain the same parameters. Same parameters in the sense that the number of parameters, the type of parameters and the order of the parameters should be same. The third and important rule is that static method cannot be overridden. Why? Because you know that static methods are methods that can be invoked without the help of an object. So if you are trying to override a static method, you can't differentiate the method that is defined inside the subclass from the parent class using an object. Okay. So here you have an example of method overriding. Here you have two classes. First one is a class ABC and second one is a class main. Here ABC is acting as a parent class and main is acting as a child class. That means main is extending from ABC. And here you have a function disp inside the parent class which is going to be override by the subclass main. That means inside subclass also you have the same function disp, and this disp defined inside the parent class is known as the overridden method, and the same method that is defined inside the main class is known as the overriding method. So here inside the subclass you have a different definition for the same method that is declared inside the parent class. Okay, then how we can differentiate these two disp is implemented inside the main function. Okay, so inside the main function you have two objects. The first one is obj, that is an object corresponding to the parent class or the class ABC. So using this object, if I am trying to invoke the function disp, then the function disp that is defined inside the parent class should get executed. Okay, and second object is obj2, that is an object corresponding to the subclass or the main class. So using obj2, if I am trying to execute the disp function, then obviously the disp function that is defined inside the child class, that means main class, will get executed. So in this way we can differentiate these two disp functions. How it is possible is that by using the object of the parent class you can execute the function defined inside the parent class, and by using the object of the child class you can execute the function defined inside the child class. Here you have another example. Here parent is a parent class and main is a child class. Main is extending from parent class. Here you have the function print data as an overridden method inside the parent class, and the print data here inside the main is a overriding method corresponding to the overridden method in the parent class. And inside the main function I am defining three objects. Obj1 is purely an object of the parent class, obj2 and obj3 are objects of the child class or the main class. So using obj1, if I am trying to execute print data, the print data function defined inside the parent class will get executed. And if I am using obj2 or obj3 for executing the print data, and as these two objects are objects of the subclass, then the print data function that is defined inside the subclass or the main class will get executed. So this is how we can implement method overriding. So method overriding is actually reusability of methods that are defined inside the parent class by using a subclass. Okay, so these are the examples of method overloading and method overriding. Method overloading, you already know, it is actually used for increasing the readability of a program, and here the functions are repeated within the same class. But in the case of method overriding, we are reusing the same method in different classes. And method overloading, the parameter must be different, otherwise method overloading cannot be implemented. But here in method overriding, parameters must be same. And this is an example of the compile time polymorphism, and method overriding is an example of runtime polymorphism. And in method overriding, return type can be same or different, but in method overriding, return type must be same. So these are the difference.